Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking into the book of Numbers, chapter 34 specifically.
Hmm.
It's all about how a promised land was actually, defined and set up for distribution,
Yeah, it's fascinating. It moves from this epic journey narrative right into the nitty-gritty, administration, boundaries.
turning that big vision into something real, right? Practical steps.
Exactly. Less prophecy here, more. Well, property lines, almost.
Okay, so let's get into it. The text says the Lord told Moses, basically, map this out, lay out the exact borders for Canaan, the inheritance.
And it starts down south.
Right, the southern border.
Right.
It goes from the end of the Salt Sea
The Dead Sea.
down past the ascent of Akrabim or Scorpion Pass through Zin towards Kadesh Barnea.
Then it sort of curves, doesn't it? Over to Hazar-Dar and Asmon,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then it hits the Wadi of Egypt
which is often seen as that natural sort of dividing line with Egypt itself.
and ends right at the Great Sea. The Mediterranean,
So that's the south. The west is, well, pretty straightforward.
super simple. Just the coast of the Great Sea, that whole stretch.
Can't get much clearer than that.
Okay, so then the northern boundary. This one's a bit more complex.
A few more points to track. It starts also at the Great Sea.
And goes inland to Mount Hor. Now, importantly, not the same Mount Hor where Aaron died.
Good point. A different one mentioned here. Then it goes towards Labo Hamath.
Then across to Zedad, Ziphron, and it wraps up at Hazar Inan.
These names might sound a bit obscure to us now, but back then, these were, actual places,
Yeah.
recognizable markers.
Absolutely. Specific geography. So that leaves the eastern side.
Right. It runs down from that endpoint, Hazar-Enan, towards Shephem.
Then over to Riblah, which is noted as being east of Ain,
And then it follows the slopes, east of the Sea of Kinnereth.
which we know better as the Sea of Galilee,
Exactly. Then it follows the Jordan River south.
and closes the loop right back where it started at the Salt Sea.
So the text really emphasizes this is the land with its boundaries on every side,
No confusion, a clearly defined territory.
which is crucial for what comes next.
Right, the assignment. Once the map is drawn, how do you divide it up? Moses tells the Israelites to assign it by lot.
By lot. That's key, not by power or who got there first.
And it specifies this land is for the 9.5 tribes remaining.
Yeah, because, as the text reminds us, the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and that half-tribe of Manasseh.
They'd already settled east of the Jordan. They had their portion.
And using lots, well, it was a pretty common way back then to handle distribution fairly. Maybe even seen as, letting God guide the outcome. Takes the human squabbling out of it, perhaps.
Or tries to, anyway. And then it gets even more specific. It names the actual people in charge.
This wasn't just left up in the air.
Yeah.
The Lord appoints the leaders for this job.
The main guys are Eleazar the priest and Joshua son of Nun, the big leaders.
But obviously they couldn't do it all themselves, dividing land for thousands of families.
So one leader from each of the remaining tribes was also appointed to help manage it.
That makes sense.
Oh.
You need representation. People like Caleb from Judah,
Shemuel from Simeon, Elidad from Benjamin, Bucky from Dan,
Hanuel from Manasseh, the other half, Kemuel from Ephraim.
Elizaphan, Zebulun, Paltiel, Issachar, Ahihud, Asher, Pedahel, Naphtali. Quite the list.
Yeah, these were the designated men. The text says the Lord commanded them for this specific task in Canaan.
It's really something, isn't it? The level of detail, not just here's some land, but specific points on a map, a method for division, and named individuals for the admin. What do you think this focus, this meticulous planning, tells us about how significant this moment was?
Well, I think it really highlights that turning a promise, even a divine one, into reality requires serious practical effort, planning, structure, leadership.
Grounding the vision in the real world.
Exactly. It's about the execution, not just the idea.
So maybe something for you listening to consider, that gap between a grand vision and the actual messy work of making it happen. This ancient text shows just how crucial those details are. The mapping, the process, the people.
Yeah, what happens when the big dream meets the details of surveying and spreadsheets, so to speak?
Definitely something to think about.